Hello everyone there, my name is Dayal Molano. I'm a foreign language student at the University of Pamplona, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the area analysis and in a writing production. So first of all, we must define what area analysis is and why is it important. So we have area analysis is the process of identifying and addressing different errors or mistakes. That would give the possibility to the teacher to understand how and why the errors are made, right? We have that it could be in oral production and in writing production. So according to Al Krishi, 2016 teachers should be able to not only identify the errors but also understand the linguistic reason for their occurrences. That's why we're gonna take into account the linguistics aspects to analyze the errors. So they're gonna like a kind of classify what we're gonna analyze, right, in the writing production as in oral production. So that's why we have two kind of aspects here. That's gonna be interlingual and intralingual. Interlingual is how the mother tongue interferes into the second language learning, and intralingual are like a kind of problems inside the same language as well, of the language that we're learning. We have more morphologic errors that are going to be like a kind of errors inside a word, syntactic errors inside a phrase, like, right? So maybe errors that the organization could be of a phrase that could be a syntactic error. Morphosyntactic is a maybe could be a morphologic error, I mean in a word, but also affects like a kind of phrase. Semantic errors are problems of meaning. Lexical, maybe that two words are kind of similar, but they couldn't be used in the same situation. Orthographic errors of how a word is written badly. And that's what we're gonna analyze into the next corpus presentation. That is the corpus presentation 1. I suppose the student has a level A1 according to the Common European Framework or References. I must clarify that that was a text about a summary of a series called Major Language. So there are several mistakes here, several errors, and I don't have enough time to talk about each of them, so we're going to analyze some or just some of them, right? First of all, we have Ali arrives for the class, English class, right? So there will be an orthographic error because he didn't capitalize the name of the subject, right? So there would be an intralingual, maybe in adequate learning. Maybe the student doesn't know really about the rule of capitalization. We have several morphologic and grammar mistakes because the student was supposed to report what happened in the chapter, right? But he used only present simple for reporting that. So that's why there are several morphological and grammar. An example could be Ali arrives for the English class. Ali arrived. It could be better to use past simple if you want to report something. We have here another syntactic that is the Miss Corny say him to how arrive there. So in this sentence, I found three kind of errors. First, the syntactic because the word there is added and it is not necessary to use there. That would be an interlingual mistake because that would be a cause to Spanish, right? Because that in Spanish is kind of normal to use the different articles, but in English it's not necessary to use it. Here we have Mrs. Mrs. must be capitalized. That will be an interlingual. That will be orthographic because the word is writing well, but it must be capitalized. And we have here lexical because Miss Corny say, right? We know that in English we have two kind of verbs for that, say and tell. So that's why they're used in different situations. That would be lexical because in this case he or she must use tell, right? The Mrs. Corny told him how to arrive there, right? And we could say that there is also a syntactic error here because to how arrive there is not quite good. It would be better tell him how to arrive there. So that would be the syntactic error, that may be interlingual because he used a Spanish structure for that, right? We have another for the corpus presentation 1 here. Could be it happened the same with say. We have another several morphological and grammar mistakes. We have here could be the last one. She's really beauty and knows about the team. So maybe beauty, beauty is kind of different to beautiful. So that error could be lexical or semantic. Why? Because Lexical maybe because he wanted to use beautiful, but he used beauty because it's similar. But semantic because you change the meaning of what you want to say. So that would be maybe an interlingua, maybe an inappropriate direct translation, right? We have the corpus presentation number 2. That's another text about complaining, right? So as you can see, there are less errors than the another one, right? We can analyze some of them. Being rude does not help develop our problems. Maybe a problem can be developed, but I think he wanted to say overcome. That's why I want to say that it is semantic, right? He changed the meaning of what he wanted to say, right? That's why we have an interlingual, maybe a lack of knowledge or maybe a transfer, right? Maybe it's a Spanish structure, but in English would be kind of different. We have, for example, he, that, fed, it is very hurtful. That would be a syntactic mistake. Maybe because he knows how to use it. Maybe it was a lapsus. Well, I mean, he knows how to use subject pronouns. But maybe it was a lapsus. Maybe he forgot it. So that's what it would be syntactic because this it affected the whole sentences as well, right? So as a kind of conclusion, I must say that in the corpus presentation number 1, there were several morphological errors, right? We have 19 errors of morphologic, right, or morphology. So different to the corpus presentation number 2, that was kind of different. We have here the syntactic was 2, and the other ones were kind of different. It happens the same in the corpus presentation number 1. The other ones were different, right? So I think that's all, and thank you.